As promised, guys, I thought I'd bring in to show you what was in my truck there. So, again, I am the cameraman, so I couldn't pull this out for you, but this is the black bag that was in the back underneath my seat. In here, I keep a little cook stove. You know, that all folds out so you can put something on top to heat it up with the butane, kerosene, I don't know what they call that, like a gold gas or something like that, but or butane propane mix fuel. And that I keep in there as a backup as well. That's all that came out of that little black bag. Usually I keep a light in there too, but I don't know why there wasn't a lighter in there today. But the other thing you saw was this little tea kettle. Let me see if I can see the company. So it's a Primus and a little steel cup I keep in there. So I keep a bunch of hot chocolate. There's a couple Mr. Noodles or whatever you want to call it, and a couple little lemonade packets and some other hot chocolate that I keep in there. That's a coffee out of an MRE. I don't drink coffee, but you know, maybe in desperation, and a little spoon package and whatnot. I got to get a couple more spoons in there, but I keep that in there pretty much year round, dealing with this way. If I break down in the winter, at least I can get. I'm not so worried about me, guys, but I got kids, so at least I can heat them up something. And you know, kids are so much happier when they got a warm belly. The other thing is my new bug out roll that I put together. Now, as I said, most of this is first aid. I'm not sure how long I got on this phone to break it down, but we'll bust this open and see how far we can get into this and show you guys everything. We'll clear a few things off the table here. Again, we're in this top secret location at the homestead called my messy basement. Oh, you didn't need to see that I'm a drinker, but hey, if you watched the rabbit video, you already saw the Ryan Coke or Ryan Ginger. So there's the bug out roll. So far, I am in love with this product. This was their first aid bug out roll, and these two bottom sections are modular, so they peel right off. But oh god, that is hard Velcro, guys. Like that's gonna take a heck of a lot of beating to pull that apart. So this is how the first aid bug out roll comes. And as you can see, most of it I've used in first aid because it keeps in my truck. So when I'm working, my boss is kind of a wussy if you get any damage, so I got to take care of myself. Or on the road, anything like that. But down here I have a few things that I keep just for the simple fact that it's in my truck. So, and we'll break down each section of this as we go. So first off, I got some medications and painkillers mostly in there. Eye wash, things like that. That's, you know, neither here nor there. But then I've got a lot of different wipes for antiseptic wipes. There's sting relief, there's after bite stop, sting stop, all sorts of stuff like that. I don't use them too often, but again, I got kids, so you know, if you can quiet them down and help them out dealing with a little bit of discomfort, that can really help them out. This is more where I'm going to lean towards, because if it's bad enough, I'm taking something to knock it down a little bit. And then I got various types of band-aids over here. And again, with this bug out roll, guys, that's all zipped in. And these are heavy zippers. I can see me being in love with this product for many years to come. And I got two of them, and in fact, I'm already considering buying another one, but I don't want to jump the gun. I think I want to take my black one out to the bush and abuse the heck out of it for a while and make sure that I do really like this product. But I got a various sizes of band-aids in there. And then we're moving into this section. This kind of section is a little bit more tools. Super glue. Anyone who's a bushman or a farmer understands that that's your first go-to when you gash yourself open horribly. Make sure the blood pumps out, and then you seal it up. Get the infection out, seal it up. So I got Gorilla Glue in there. There's a few ointments. Just some sterile Q-tips and stuff for cleaning out wounds. And then we'll get into the hardier section. For the big wounds for guys like myself, again, duct tape. Excellent for either an actual cut, just keeping gauze on you. That's just duct tape I've wrapped a whole bunch of times and flattened out. Now, my most common medical prep is electrical tape. A lot of guys will laugh about that until, again, they work on a farm. Be honest with you, 90% of my band-aids are this with a paper towel shoved in behind it. It is probably the easiest, quickest, and most effective for me band-aid. Because of the way I get cut and how I get cut and how much I abuse my hands, this stuff will stay on. You give it a good stretch and it really sticks. Now I've also got I just thought I'd try this out. I'm not really accustomed to blisters, but I saw it one day in my local drugstore and I thought, oh, I'll try it out. So Blister Medic, it's got moleskin. It's a whole little package kit in there. Thought I'd try it out. If not for me, more so, like I say, for the kids or the wife. But it's there. Down in here, got a couple of the Snap Cold packs. And again, I'm a big fan of always having your information. There is one more book I have, like a little fold-out book for emergency first aid that I got to put in here. Got to remember where it is. But a bunch of little first aid kit pocket guides, because I don't remember everything anymore. I'm getting older by the day. So just little references. I know basic stuff, but little references just in case. I mean, I might come across car accidents, so just some little stuff to remind myself. Now we get into like the triangle bandage. I got some gauze, like the sterile gauze and the sterile wraps, more for ankle injuries and stuff. Now we'll get down into here. This is blood stop. I am a farmer. I went to my local feed mill. I've squished the bottle down a little bit, but if you've ever seen the blood stop sticks of the UFC, this is the same stuff. This is exactly the same stuff that this, there we go, clotting sponge is impregnated with. It's the same stuff, guys. In fact, if it works on animals, it's probably going to work on you better than half the stuff that you can get in the doctor's offices, to be honest with you. And that's for all the preppers out there that wonder how to get a hold of medication. Raise a few animals and just start dealing with your local vet or your local farm supply. You can get, like, pink penicillin is the exact same as penicillin. It's pink, but it'll work on you just fine. But again, don't start using stuff if you don't know how to use it. And like I say, this is all pads and gauze. Like, that's a heavy padding there for soaking up a lot of blood. You know, scissors in case you got to cut off clothing or whatnot, and that's more gauze and so on. Now we get down to the funner parts for all the people who are a little bit more crazy. This is where we deal with a lot of, I have a lot of purely medical sealed rubber gloves in this package, but I also have some that I did up myself. I have larger hands. These are heavy gloves that are vacuum sealed up. They're not perfectly sterile, but they're clean, and they're the best I can come up with. It'll fit my hands. That'll take a bit of abuse if you got to do something, not just for medical purposes, but sorry about that, but they're there for me, and that's why I keep the extra antiseptic swabs with them. Moving on down, again, talking about dealing with the local feed companies and veterinary supplies. This is something I used to use all the time when I was raising rabbits. That is a standard scalpel. I also use the style called hook blades, but I keep the extra scalpels in here. They're perfectly sterile. They are medical grade. I have cut myself open with them before when I've had to get foreign objects out of my body, but they're pretty cheap. And if nothing else, if you just need to cut something really quick, it's a razor sharp blade. I also do actually have sealed individual packet sutures in there, and there's a set of can't remember what the term was, those little plier, yeah, hemostats, there they are. But I keep them in there to, I don't have small fingers. That'll help me tie off the stitches. I have done stitches before, guys, unfortunately on myself and other things. I'm not the best sewer, but I can do it. And there's just a little bottle of liquid antiseptic in there as well. I don't ever really plan on using that stuff. I have used it on animals before, but I just keep it there. I know where it is. Now we'll get down into more of the, like I say, the emergency and the truck type stuff. This is all just gloves. There's a pair of warmer gloves in there, but there's just some Dickies rubber work gloves in there. Because again, if you're working on stuff, there's some bungee cords. I think I got an extra, like an SOS call police band there. But there's also a multi-tool in there. More God bless you electrical tape. And a little fuel block there. Again, when you're dealing with these multi-tools, guys, this is the multi-tool. What multi-tool is it? It's the one in my hand. It is nothing special, but it would do a little bit of work if I need to. It's got a few knives, it's got the pliers. I'm not tearing apart my truck and rebuilding it out there, guys. So that's just perfect for me. That is Daytrex bars. Because again, got to keep my kids fed. There's some gum, Daytrex bars, and a little bit of Mr. Noodles in there. Again, it more comes down to, let's keep the kids happy, guys. Or again, if I'm stuck out in the bush for a day and I got my truck out there, at least I can keep myself munching for an extra day. And down in here, again, we're dealing with Canada here. So there's some of these hot hands packages. I mean, you saw that I have the heater, and I'm going to have a truck. I got fuel in the truck and all that stuff, but cold kills, guys, especially if you're stuck out on the side of the road here in Canada. So I keep a lot of those hot hands. Got a pack of cards in there, play with the family, and there's just a little candle and a lighter, because at least if nothing else, I can heat up the truck a little bit with this little candle. It's just one of them little survival candles. Nothing special, but again, I live in the cold climates, and even in the summer, if I just want to be able to start a fire, your hands are cold, light the lighter, light that candle. You can use the candle to start a fire much easier than you can to use a lighter to start a fire. It's way easier on you, gives you some time, gives you a little bit of relaxation. And then down here I just got a crummy fleece blanket. I got a poncho. Again, nothing special. I don't think it would last in a good wind, but at least it might keep me dry for a few minutes. And then I'm down into, what's this one, the survival blanket. That's a heavier Mylar blanket, guys. I have another one of these that I've actually opened up and beat up. It's actually got partially melted because it was too close to a fire, but it's a pretty decent little package. And it's just a lot better than those cheap little 10-cent survival blankets you've seen. And then I've got an SOL bivy, which they work. And this is tight, small little package. I used to actually take this camping with me, and it would fit inside this little steel cup, as you can see. But the steel cup doesn't like to be in this bug out roll. It doesn't roll up as nice and tight with the steel cup in there. So I keep the cup on the floor. But the problem is with any of this Mylar stuff, guys, it will not let the moisture out. So you can wake up wet. But in an emergency, you've got to get someone warm again, hypothermic. This is really going to help you out. So I'm going to keep doing reviews on these bug out rolls. Nate from Canadian Prepper, he sent me one of these. I mean, I paid for it. Don't get it wrong. But I'm really happy with the product so far. And like I say, I'll give you some more reviews when I start getting out in the bush and beating up the black one. The only thing is, it does show on the website. It used to have a radio pocket. I asked him about that. He said it just didn't end up working. They kept losing stuff out of it because I I went, did I order the wrong package? He said, no, this is what happened. Sorry, I didn't tell you about that. So he was going through changing some stuff. But as I say, great company to deal with. There's I recommend them. It's CanadianPreparedness.com. He's getting a little commercial, but you know, we all do to an extent. If you think you can make a little bit of money, why not? And like I said, he didn't just do it to make money. He made a great product. So I'm really hoping to do some more business with that company because I'm happy with this. But I will get to show you guys my black bag sometime soon. And like I said, my biggest thing that I can tell you, any of those preppers out there, look in your local feed mills or your veterinary supply stores, because you can get a lot of stuff that you don't need a license for, or you don't need a script for. Also, you can get stuff for your animals very easily. I'm not saying do this, but you can get a veterinary script pretty easy on a lot of things and get what you want. Anywho, guys, oh damn it, I said anywho. But you guys have a good night. Hope to hear from you soon. Bye.